It's been nearly 3 years since they've lost a district game, and they're one of the premier programs in the state of Texas. But tonight, a big test for 19th-ranked Denton Guyer as they visit a Keller team on a 5-game win streak. The 17-10 Keller Indians host 21-4 Denton Guyer in a pivotal District 5-6A clash next on the WFAA Digital Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Keller High School. Mike Leslie joined by Jonah Javad this evening for our first basketball broadcast of the season, and it's a good one. Number 19, Denton Guyer, and the Keller Indians, a very good team within their district, trying to pull the upset tonight. Guyer comes in, certainly the team with the pedigree, though, and a team that's had a lot of success the last few years.
It's going to be a good matchup. Keller's won 5 straight district games after starting 0-3, so they're getting hot at the right time. Guyer's been hot at the right time in district play for the last 3 years. Haven't lost a district game since 2017. So we got a good matchup tonight. It's one of those trap game type games for Guyer, but they've got the talent to back it up.
In what we expect to be a raucous gym here at Keller High School, the student section is well thought of around the district, so it's going to be a tough test for the Guyer Wildcats tonight. Let's get to our starters and players to watch for this evening. First, for Denton Guyer, Jacoby Coles, certainly the player to watch. And on the other side, for Keller, Paxton Coley, your player to watch. Starting around them for Denton Guyer, Ryan Barnes, Amechi Chukwu, Tyler McGuy, and Braden Bradshaw. And for the Keller Indians, along with Paxton Coley, TJ Hinkle, Tommy Brubaker, JD Doddard, and Nathan Korn. But certainly Coles and Coley, the two to watch tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a chance to see quite a bit of Guyer last season when they had the three-headed monster of Jacoby Coles, who was a junior at the time, along with Devian Harmon, who's now playing at Oklahoma, and Jalen Wilson, who's playing at Kansas. So Guyer was really good last season, lost to eventual state champion Duncanville in the regional final for Class 6A. Jacoby Coles, now a senior, he's the team leader, and he's putting the team on his back. They're undefeated this season when he plays.
Meanwhile, Coley, as good as he is offensively, he's certainly their most consistent offensive threat. He's also very, very important to what they do defensively. Long arms, big kid that creates a lot of havoc for opposing offenses. And as we've already talked about, their defense is fantastic. 35.6 points per game they're giving up over the course of this 5-game win streak, and just 22 the other night against Northwest Eaton. So the defense can bring it for the Keller Indians. Keller's got the big dogs in the house, though, tonight for this district basketball game. Can they hand Guyer its first district loss since 2017? The opening tip next on the WFAA Digital Network. The student section for the Keller Indians, one of the best in the area, ready and waiting for a big-time matchup between their Indians and the number 19 team in the state of Texas in 6A, the Denton Guyer Wildcats. Good evening and welcome inside the gymnasium here at Keller High School for what should be a really good basketball game between these two teams, Jonah Javad. These two are two teams that played just about 3 weeks ago, and it was a very good basketball game. 49-43, Denton Guyer won that one. But that game was within a point in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, and it was a 3-point game. Keller had a 3 to tie the game with 35 seconds left. It went begging, and Guyer made free throws down the stretch to hang on and win that basketball game. But two teams that are evenly matched, and this time Keller has them on their home floor.
Yeah, and both of them are coming in red hot. Keller, winners of 5 straight. Lost the first 3 in district play, but 5 in a row now, and as we know, Guyer hasn't lost at all in district play, so a meeting of two teams that are playing some of their best basketball this season.
Guyer's last loss in district nearly 3 years ago, as we are ready for the tip. And right off the opening tip, a layup opportunity for Keller goes begging. And Denton Guyer comes down with the rebound. Paxton Coley, as well as JD Doddard, involved on that opening set for Keller. Doddard couldn't finish the layup, and back the other way comes Guyer with their first possession of the evening. Nice look underneath. Amechi Chukwu left-hand layup won't go. Rebound pulled down. He can't get it. Jacoby Coles with his first opportunity. That won't go either. Chukwu, another offensive board, and he's swatted by Doddard. And now back the other way comes Keller. A very nice defensive start from the Indians. They couldn't get the defensive rebound there for an extended stretch, but their defense, Jonah, already showing a little bit of what they can do. They gave up just 22 points the other night against Northwest Eaton.
And that was part of the scouting report coming in. I mean, if you get caught in the paint against Keller, I mean, you got to be able to go up with that shot real quick because those arms are long and looking for the ball.
1 minute gone by here at Keller High, still scoreless. Inside it goes to Doddard, left-hand layup. That one will rattle home, and Keller with the early edge in front.
Coles just a second late there on the help rotation defense.
Jacoby Coles, one of the best players in the state of Texas, number 9 in the state according to 24/7 Sports, and now a whistle away from the basketball. Is holding his left eye was Braden Bradshaw, the junior for Denton Guyer, number 23 on this left-hand side of your screen. Looks to have been inadvertent, no foul called. Still wiping at that left eye, but it looks like he'll be okay and will stay in the basketball game. They try to find Amechi Chukwu underneath, and it's knocked away. They'll say it's a kick. Officials tonight, Kevin Smotherman is the crew chief, Chris Jimenez and Brian Woods, the other two officials tonight. Sideline inbound for Ryan Barnes, the senior starting point guard for Denton Guyer. Gives it inside for Coles, right on the block. Immediately double teamed, then triple teamed. He finds Tyler McGuy on the baseline, and McGuy knocks it up.
That's what Guyer's going to have to do. Is Coles expecting the double team, find the open man, and it's going to take a lot of kickouts and backdoor cuts to get this Wildcats offense involved outside of just the 6'9" Coles.
Nathan Korn tied up there away from the basket by Chukwu, gets it back up top, now on the right wing in the hands of Doddard. There is no clearly defined go-to guy on this Keller offense. They very much ride the hot hand, as on the baseline the jumper is short. Rebound pulled down by our player to watch this evening. Back up and in thanks to Paxton Coley, and Keller up 4-2. But even Coley, as our player to watch, is their leading scorer, under 10 a game. Averages about 8.5 a game as the three is buried from the corner. Braden Bradshaw with the triple, and Denton Guyer with their first lead. Up top for Doddard. Crossover into the lane, hard drive, lots of contact, no whistle. They say it'll stay on this end. Last time these two teams played, it was Paxton Coley that was the leading scorer for the Keller Indians with 13. Three-pointer from straight away, misses short. Off the hands of Doddard, rebound down to Hinkle, and he's going to look to push. Up ahead, in transition, layup blocked. The follow, though, for Chukwu will go. Bradshaw couldn't finish, but a good follow by Chukwu. Offensive rebounds, Jonah, a big part of his game.
Yeah, and I also like the idea from Guyer there is to push that ball up court as quick as possible to try to get some fast break points, because if you let this Keller defense sit down into its trap, they'll make you pay. So I'd look for the Wildcats to get out in transition as much as they can this evening.
35.6 points per game. That's what Keller is giving up over the course of this 5-game win streak they're on right now. That one's swatted away by Jacoby Coles, and back the other way will come Hinkle. Beg your pardon, it's Barnes in transition, left wing, McGuy for three. A little bit long. He is one of the best three-point shooters in the area. Now stripping it from behind, but he gets it back, does Hinkle. Hinkle into the lane. Nice move, and he's able to finish.
Really nice finish there.
Nice look underneath for McGuy, and he's able to finish on the baseline. Tyler McGuy, a 40% three-point shooter, averaging just under 19 points per game this season for Denton Guyer. Corner three for Coley won't go. McGuy had to do an awful lot of work when Jacoby Coles was out. He missed 13 games. They went 9-4 in that stretch. McGuy from way out. That one's a bit long. He was wide open top of the key. Now here comes Hinkle. Nice look in the lane for Korn. He can't finish. Rebound pulled down by Coley, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Denton Guyer. Stays Keller ball. We do appreciate you joining us here on the WFA Digital Network for the first basketball broadcast of our season. Number 19, Denton Guyer. And the 17-10 Keller Indians. Nice look inside. Good positioning by Korn, and he finishes.
Oh, Coles fell asleep a little bit.
Ball tied up, and they will call a foul. Is into the basketball game for the first time tonight is Jase Wilson. 6'5" sophomore, the younger brother of Jalen Wilson, who is at Kansas now, is one of the best players in Denton Guyer history, one of the key pieces of last year's team that went all the way to the regional final. Deep three. Misses long off the hands of Liggins. Nice rebound underneath, but that won't go either for Jase Wilson, and Keller down with the rebound. The pace so far, Joan, I think, benefits Keller, what we've seen through the first 5 minutes of this basketball game.
Oh, Keller's playing good defense. I mean, and that was the MO coming in. You know, as long as they can kind of limit the transition opportunities, you figure Keller's going to have a good shot.
As Hinkle buries the three, and back in front goes Keller. Quickly down the floor, and they throw it away. Ill-advised pass, trying to rush the basketball down the floor. And Keller will take it back. Two and a half to play, first quarter. 11-9, Keller with the early lead here. Korn in the lane, trying to find an outlet. Finally gives it up top for Blake Barr in the basketball game for the first time today. Coley, right wing. If you're wondering, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball as Korn has it knocked away by Coles momentarily, but Barr gets it back. That also benefits the Keller Indians with the way that they like to play. A very defensive style of play. Slowing it down only helps with that in keeping this game low scoring. They give up on average for the season only 45 and change a game. Nice look underneath and a great finish and the foul. TJ Hinkle. And Keller opens up the lead a bit.
This Hinkle kid's got some bounce to him. We've seen him make a nice move in the lane, control with the body. We've seen him shoot from outside, and now the old-fashioned and one, showing the repertoire.
Free throw falls for TJ Hinkle. And it's 14-9 Keller here late first quarter. Now a chance for a steal inside. Nice hands. Barr in transition in the corner for Hinkle. Tries to save it back in bounds, and he does. Somehow it ends up with Barr. Now for Coley for three. It's good. Paxton Coley with the triple from straight away, and the Indians with a 17-9 spurt to start this one. Does it get better than that?
I'm just trying to figure out what the raincoats, those ponchos? What are we doing?
I believe one of those ponchos says TCU on it. The Keller student section is prepared for anything. And I suppose it's apropos, right after a Paxton Coley three-pointer, the Indians offense making it rain, and they got the ponchos for it.
I knew that was coming. Thank you.
Did I telegraph that too hard?
Thank you, Lil Wayne and Fat Joe.
Final 90 seconds of quarter number one. 17-9, Keller in front.
And check out this run from Keller, though. I mean, I think it's an 11-0 run from Keller.
Yes, it is. It was 9-6, Denton Guyer. An 11-0 Keller run. Jase Wilson trying to end that. He throws it away. Tried to find Jacoby Coles inside. Instead, here comes Keller once again. Hinkle in transition. It's good. A 10-point lead for the Indians. Back the other way comes Doddard in the lane. Gets the foul. Beg your pardon, it's KJ Liggins. He'll head to the line for 2 and a chance to stop the bleeding here, but a fantastic start for the Keller Indians.
Just a few kids from Keller here tonight.
We were told this is a student section that brings it, and they've been as advertised through this first quarter. Liggins with a second. That won't go either. Just 9 points so far in this first quarter for the number 19 team in the state of Texas, the Denton Guyer Wildcats. Now Barr with it, top of the key. Little extended zone here from Denton Guyer. Keller finally able to start their offense now. Back out for Barr. Trapped, but passes over top of it. Now they'll try and dribble through it. This trapping zone from Guyer is giving Keller fits right now. Final 15 seconds of quarter number 1. Finally, they get some penetration here. Look underneath. Too far underneath the hoop, and a nice play to pass it out to the corner, and that's not the way that TJ Hinkle wanted that three-point attempt to finish, but it'll go back over to Denton Guyer on the jump ball.
Really nice kick out to the corner there. He went up, realized he was facing the backboard, and sent it out for an open 3. You know, it's been a couple times now with the defense Guyer is playing. It's kind of setting up to force that ball to the middle, and we've seen Coles now try to jump the pass twice, and it's led to layups.
McGuy with the final 5 seconds ticking down. Jumper next to the lane. He can't finish, but the tip in for Chukwu will go. And that's how quarter number 1 will come to a close. 19-11. Keller with a very fast start against the number 19 team in the state of Texas. They lead it by 8 after 1. We'll be back on the WFAA Digital Network. Back at Keller High School, 19-11. The Indians lead Denton Guyer after 1 quarter of play. Take a look at our Facebook live stream here and see if we can pick off some comments from fans all around the area watching. I've seen a whole lot of love for Paxton Coley. Janie O'Mealy saying, go Paxton, number 23. Deborah Ho Blunt says, Deborah Huff Blunt, perhaps. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your middle name right. I apologize. Says Paxton is her grandson. Go Paxton. He's off to a pretty solid start through 1 quarter of play. Another go Paxton from Julie Ann 11. So it is the Paxton Coley fan club in our Facebook comments thus far. If you're watching on Facebook, please let us know where you're tuning in from, who you're tuning in to see. Certainly we already know there's some Paxton Coley fans. I see a comment from Ben Stouffer saying, I see you, TJ, talking to TJ Hinkle. So please let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to watch tonight as Keller leads Denton Guyer 19-11 as we start quarter number 2 here on the WFA Facebook page, YouTube Live, and WFA.com as well. Trapped in the corner, they're able to pass it away, and then finally stolen away by Amici Chukwu, and he's going to start the break. McGuy in transition lays it in. Then Guyer staying with this trapping half-court zone defense. It worked very well in that final minute of the first quarter, and they're trying to execute it again here early in the second quarter. Fade away and a foul called as Cole Roberts tried to find the bottom. Instead had his elbow hit. He'll head to the line for 2. Again, let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to watch tonight. As the free throw is up and good from Cole Roberts. He goes 2 for 2, and it's 21-13. Keller in front. And again, if you're watching on the WFA Facebook page, please do us a favor and hit the share button. Let your friends and family around the Keller community, the Denton Guyer community, know that they can tune in and enjoy this basketball game live from here at Keller High. 3 from the top of the key, misses to the right-hand side of the tin from Ryan Barnes, and Keller's defense really doing the job so far. Better execution on this possession from Keller, and it leads to an opportunity for Korn, and he buries it. Beg your pardon, Coley with the bucket. They've really struggled with that zone, Jonah, but they did a really good job of passing over top of it on that last possession. Now Coles on the other end for 3, rattles out.
Guyer has just had no answer for Keller's half-court defense. None. Most of their points, most of their 13 points, have come on transition or tip-ins.
We've still yet to see Jacoby Coles score this evening.
Yeah, he hasn't been as active offensively as I would like.
The guys squared up straight away. Now they get it to Coles inside, and
there we go. Okay, that's the offense. Get into the middle, make more than just 2 passes and then a shot.
Coles, a 4-year varsity player for this Denton Guyer basketball team. 3-star recruit, had 8 different D1 offers. Ended up deciding on Butler, the 9th-ranked player in the entire state according to 24/7 Sports.
And you picked Butler.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Had Texas A&M, TCU, SMU all made offers, among others. Colorado, Minnesota, Notre Dame, and the one we're missing, Tulsa. Those are your 8, including Butler. Decided Butler was where he wanted to go, which, I mean, hey, that's a program that has had an awful lot of success over the course of the last couple decades.
For sure.
Of course, they don't have the head coach that kind of originated all of that anymore.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens coaching with the Boston Celtics now, but they still have had success.
Right, it's firmly on the map. It's an NCAA tournament team, and
yes,
you would think he chose there because he would have an opportunity to play quickly.
Paula Sissel Brubaker says, watching our grandson Tommy Brubaker from Parker, Colorado. She says, go Indians. 23-15, the Indians lead here out of the timeout. Under 6 to play, second quarter. Up and under move, and the foul is drawn by Caleb Bunch. Bunch is a big-time 3-point shooter for this team. Showed the ability to take it to the tin as well and gets the free throw to go.
I've actually been really impressed with Keller's offense. You know, we talked earlier about how, you know, on any given night it's someone to get hot, but it's really just the defense turns into offense, and that's kind of why you don't have to necessarily ride a hot hand. It's whoever's furthest down court for an easy lay-in.
It's worked out very well for him so far, jumping out to this 9-point lead midway through quarter number 2.
And often that has been Hinkle.
Top of the key, Barnes for 3, misses long.
Got to get a touch inside.
We've seen a little bit more of some of the size from Keller trying to combat Jacoby Coles, and it's worked very well thus far. That one rattles out. Coles now in transition. Right wing, Magai wide open. Tipped around, and it'll stay on this end.
I mean, you got a kid who's 6'9", extremely talented in that mid-range, and Guyer's settling for a few passes along the perimeter and a 3-ball. I mean, you got to find a way to get it inside. I understand the zone defense is tough, but
long 3 wouldn't go for Braden Bradshaw. And for the last several minutes, it has been one and done on that end for Denton Guyer. That one rattles off the backside of the rim, and Coles down with the rebound. He'll look to run the break again. Even at 6'8" and 230 pounds, he can run the break into the lane, but he has it swatted away. It'll stay on this end. Last touch by Keller, but the defense, they know he's the biggest threat, and they swarm around him anytime he tries to get something going downhill. Now a 5-second call on that end. Ryan Barnes couldn't get it in bounds. Keller's doing everything right now.
Yeah, and Guyer's not. It's just totally out of sync right now for the Wildcats. Silly mistakes.
Blake Barr the other way. He's going to try and set himself up for three. Misses long. Kai Lindsay, number 21 there with the rebound. He's somebody to look out for in the future for this Guyer program. Now Coles into the lane. Couldn't finish. Tip in won't go either. And back the other way comes Higgins. Hinkle, beg your pardon. Cross court for Barr. Now back for Hinkle. Right corner three. It's good.
Oh, that's such good basketball. That is such good basketball.
Caleb Bunch buries the three, and it's back to a 9-point lead. Beg your pardon, 12-point lead.
All about the extra pass.
Speaking of the extra pass, but that misses long. Long rebound chased down by Barnes. Cross court, Coles, and he hits it. And now a timeout call by Denton Guyer. 27-18 the score right now. Jacoby Coles burying the three. Perhaps an important event for this Denton Guyer offense, only because they haven't seemed to be able to unlock him so far.
Yeah,
He's been very.
Maybe that will get him going, but I mean, Coles' game is he doesn't have to be this drive it into the lane, go 1-on-4 guy that we've seen, a few possessions ago. Move the ball inside, kick it back out, and when you get an open look like that, he'll make it. But right now, we're just seeing a lot of three-pointers from this Guyer offense when the Wildcats are capable of getting it inside.
We talked about what a difficult place this is to play, and we've seen that rear its head for Denton Guyer as well over the course of this first half. Some free throw misses. We've already seen them have 1 0-for-2 trip at the free throw line. The 5-second call down on this end right in front of the Keller student section. It has been difficult for Denton Guyer going this way. You wonder, may it be easier in the second half when they're going left to right from our vantage point. But for the next 3 minutes and 46 seconds, they still got to deal with playing offense right in front of that Keller Indian student section. Now they're going to try and go full court press out of the timeout. Keller breaks it with ease. Layup misses, though, for Hinkle. And at least for a possession, it pays off for Denton Guyer.
Coles getting a breather on the bench.
Up top from a guy. The offense runs through him when Coles isn't on the floor. Gives it to Barnes, and he hits the three.
Barnes is fearless. He is not afraid to shoot.
48% three-point shooter, according to the stats we've been given. And now it's tipped away. Nice steal. And the throwdown. Kai Lindsay, the 6'7 sophomore. And it's a 4-point game in a blink. Keller able to break the press this time. Under 3 to play first half. Left wing three. It falls. Caleb Bunch again. He's got the last 7 points for the Keller Indians. The guy staring into the face of this difficult zone. Keller's defense has made it tough all through the first half, and they block another shot there. The rebound, though, put up and in by Lindsay. Makes it a 5-point game with 2 to play here in the first half.
Every bucket from Guyer has just been so hard-earned. It's like putbacks or having to make a free.
Barr on the right wing. Coley now. Tries to pass along the baseline, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
I mean, we just haven't seen like a lot of freebies. Not like a lot of cheap layups. And that's that Keller defense, man. It is legit.
49-43 was the score the last time these two teams played. This is actually ahead of that pace so far. 30-25, Keller with the edge. They gave up just 22 points the other night against Northwest Eaton. Now Hinkle trying to find a man inside, has it tipped away, and back comes Kai Lindsay in transition. Hesitation, baseline jumper, buries it. 3-point game, and it's been largely on the strength of Kai Lindsay, the sophomore.
Yeah, and they're doing it all with Jacoby Coles sitting on the bench.
Now Barr being hounded by Barnes. Hinkle, cross court, Bunch looking for another three. Puts it on the deck, now gets it to Coley. Tipped away briefly, but Hinkle's able to scramble back on top of it. Final 45 seconds of quarter number 2. Barr in trouble, throws it away. Lindsay with the steal. Kai Lindsay in transition, lots of contact. Count it. No, it's an offensive foul. No, yes, count the bucket. Foul against Keller. The celebration from the Keller student section threw me off. That is indeed a bucket that is good for Kai Lindsay and the foul.
Yeah, we got to teach the student section what
and he's got a chance to tie the game now.
What the referee signals mean. If he puts his hand on the back of the head, that's usually a charge. They're throwing you off, Mike.
They did momentarily. I had it at first, and then they threw me off, but after all of that, Lindsay ties the basketball game at 30.
Lindsay has just been everywhere these last few minutes. Critical plays, steals, layups, second chance points.
In the corner, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, that's a charge.
See, kids, that's the signal.
That's the signal.
19.8 to play, and Denton Guyer will have a chance to take the lead.
He didn't do the hand on the back of the head, but maybe that was just the refs I had back in the day. They were old school like that.
Still haven't started there we go. They finally started the clock as Maguy brings it up the court. Wildcats appear content to hold for the final shot of the first half. Maguy, crossover, into the lane, corner for Coles for three. Misses long, time for Lindsay for a rebound. Amici Chukwu at the buzzer, count the bucket. And Denton Guyer comes all the way back to lead at halftime, 32-30. On Amici Chukwu's put back at the buzzer. They trailed by double digits in this first half. Trailed by as much as 12, 27-15 midway through that second quarter. Since then, a 17-3 run to close out the first half, and they lead by a deuce at the break.
Staggering. You'd think watching that game that Keller would have a sizable lead, and defense from Lindsay and critical moments, aggressive offensively, and finally saw in those last few minutes Guyer was able to take advantage on the other end. So, Mike, I think we might have a pretty good basketball game here, bud.
I think it should be all right. Halftime show here at Keller High School. We'll let you guys enjoy this for the next couple of moments as we tally up some stats, and we'll come back in just a moment. Baseline. Three-pointer on the way from McGuy. Misses long, and the rebound pulled down by Keller. Hopefully you guys are hearing us now. I got a note saying that we didn't have audio there for a moment. It looks like we may have it back now. 5:22 to play here, fourth quarter, and a right wing three misses long off the hands of Bunch. Jacoby Coles in transition ahead for Amechi Chukwu, and he lays it in, and it's a dozen-point lead now, 56-44.
And that's tough. When you got a 6'9" fella dropping those passes, you can just go right over the head of a lot of defenders, drop it in the bucket.
Bunch already has 2 3-pointers here in this fourth quarter. They're going to need an awful lot more from him and others if a comeback is coming for the Indians. Up top, Coley for 3. Misses short. Rebound fought for by Korn, but it's taken by Coles. And he'll bring it up the floor. Looking far side from a guy. Corner 3. That's all net.
Oh, that is a dagger. That's a dagger.
15-point lead for Denton Guyer. And the number 19 team in the state flexing its muscles a little bit here in the fourth quarter as they've opened it up.
Yeah, look at Coles there coming up the floor. And once again, the look-off pass. You think he might be going entry inside like he did the previous possession. No, he kicks it to the corner. McGuy, who knocked down a bucket a few moments ago, there for another 3. McGuy's got 6 points in this frame. And you're starting to see what that Guyer offense can look like when it's clicking on all cylinders.
4:21 to play here in the fourth. And Denton Guyer has seized control of this one. It was a great matchup the first time they played at Denton Guyer. A 49-43 final, a game in which Keller had cut the lead to 44-43 late in the fourth quarter. Trailed 46-43 with 35 seconds to play. Had an open look at a 3 to tie the basketball game and couldn't hit it. And then Denton Guyer made free throws down the stretch to close it out. Tonight, as the fourth quarter started, they were down 10, hit a couple of big threes to twice cut the lead down to 7. But now an 8-0 run from Denton Guyer to open up a 15-point advantage. Keller's in a world of hurt right now. Korn has it stripped away, but a foul. Ryan Barnes a little too handsy as he stripped it away. And that'll send Korn to the free throw line again for 1 and 1.
I mean, that first 10 minutes, we're thinking, oh, Keller could do this. Keller could hand Guyer its first district loss since 2017.
It was 27-15 Keller midway through the second quarter.
And then all of a sudden, Jacoby Coles, the best player in this game, checks out for Guyer.
Yeah.
And Kai Lindsey just takes over on both ends of the court. A couple big steals, a few big plays offensively, and in a blink of an eye, Guyer had tied the game. And that's been the difference. It neutralized the crowd. It took all the enthusiasm out of them. And then since then, it's just been kind of a slow bleed.
2 for 2 at the stripe is Nathan Korn. Cuts the lead down to 13. They get a steal here. Coming out of the pile with the ball is Blake Barr. Gets it up ahead, now gets it back. Nice feed underneath for Korn. Has it blocked from behind, but he gets it back. The putback won't go. Tipped around, grabbed by Chukwu. 2 opportunities underneath for Nathan Korn, and he couldn't find the bottom. Coles, short corner. Up top for Barnes, now right wing 3 for Bradshaw, and that will go as well. And with 3:30 to play and a 16-point lead, that one may just about put it on ice.
Yeah, those were the types of plays Keller was making early in this game, that extra pass and freeing up guys. It's like these two teams have totally just switched completely from what we saw in that first quarter.
Now Coles in transition, hits the 3. A 19-point edge for the number 19 team in the country as Jacoby Coles buries the triple.
Wow. A tale of two halves.
Yeah, the first quarter and a half was all Keller as the corner three is hit by Hinkle, and those are his first points since his 10 points to start off the basketball game that all came in the first quarter. Corner three missed long by Bradshaw. It was 27-15. Keller led midway through the second quarter. Since then, in the 2 quarters and change since that point, it has been all Denton Guyer. A 40-22 edge since that point. Corner three goes for Blake Barr. Cuts it back down to 13 with 2:07 to play.
It'd take a near flawless finish to this game.
Yeah. It's not officially over, but it is nearly so. The couple threes in a row here, though, from Hinkle and Barr make it a little bit more plausible.
Right. Curious to see where these 2 seasons finish. A 5-game win streak in district play is nothing to hang your head about after a loss like that. I mean, Keller's ability is, we saw what they're capable of. The first quarter told me all I needed to see, is that when this team plays like that, if they can do it for a full game, they can compete with amongst the best teams in the state like Guyer.
Right.
But there's a difference in doing it for a quarter and doing it for an entire game. And it speaks to Guyer's resolve, to go down, that number of points on the road, hostile environment, and to mount a comeback and chip away, and then just add to the lead over time.
Keller led 19-9 late in quarter number 1, led 27-15, as we've mentioned a couple of times, midway through quarter number 2. Certainly appeared in control of the basketball game at that point. Their defense was playing very, very well, but Guyer has played some exceptional basketball since that point in building what is now a 13-point lead. Keller comes out of the timeout in a press, and that forces the timeout to be called by Tyler McGuy as he was trapped in the corner. 2 timeouts left for each side.
Yeah, and down 13 points. I mean, Keller's trap is good. I mean, we saw it. They can force turnovers. But with 2 minutes left, you just wonder if it's just too little, too late. Crazy things have happened.
They need, I mean, as you said it, they basically need a perfect finish.
I'm timing it out of my head, but there's no shot clock, so it doesn't matter.
That does make it a little harder to figure out exactly.
You force a turnover, give up a layup, or, what? How's that play? So.
They need quick, ineffective possessions out of Denton Guyer. They need to create turnovers. They need this trapping press that they came out in to run as efficiently as it just did a moment ago, enforcing the Denton Guyer timeout that was just called by Tyler McGuy. Denton Guyer, meanwhile, appearing to be on their way to 9-0 in district play, 22-4 on the year, and a team that very much believes that they are one of the state championship contenders around the state of Texas. Duncanville certainly is extremely talented, number 1 in the state for a reason. The way that it was said to me by Denton Guyer's head coach Grant Long when we spoke on the phone the other day, he said, he started to say Duncanville's got more talent than anybody in the state, and he kind of stopped himself and said country. That's how talented Denton Guyer truly is. The foul is called on Caleb Bunch in transition as he was chasing down Tyler McGuy. That's how good Duncanville is realistically, and that's a team that knocked off Denton Guyer a year ago in the regional final, 66-62 in overtime, in a game that a lot of people felt like was effectively the state championship game.
Yeah, I covered it for us, and I remember watching that game, and it just felt like, wow, there's a lot of superstars on this court, which there were. For Guyer, you had Devion Harmon, who was a guard. You had Jalen Wilson, the big power forward. Both those 2 guys are gone now. Harmon at Oklahoma getting big minutes for the Sooners, and Wilson's playing for Kansas. A couple of notable Big 12 teams. You might have heard of both of those schools, so they were talented. And then Duncanville had Jamias Ramsey, who's now starting for Texas Tech.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's decent too. Yeah, so I mean, that game had a whole bunch of superstars, but there's still some of those players left over. We've touched on Jacoby Coles tonight with Guyer. For Duncanville, obviously Micah Peavy, the son of the head coach. You talk about length and ability to go inside, outside. The kid's got the whole package. There's a reason he's one of the top prospects in the entire country. So, you know, if they go toe-to-toe, there will be some revenge on the line in Coles' mind. But, yeah, Duncanville is loaded, as the Panthers often are.
That's a team that we hope to see 2 weeks from tonight. Duncanville plays Richardson in a rematch of what was a sensational game the first time those two teams met. Micah Peavy, as you mentioned, their best player, hit a bucket in the final seconds of regulation to tie the game and force overtime, and then ultimately Duncanville won in OT. We hope to bring you that game 2 weeks from tonight here on the WFA Digital Network. The game we're looking at for next week, haven't fully locked it up and confirmed it yet, but the game we're looking at for next week, DeSoto and Grand Prairie, two of the top 15 teams in the state in 6A. Free throw good from Magai. He was 2 for 2 at the line a moment ago. Looking to do more of the same here. You saw a minute ago the three-pointer fall for Cole Roberts to cut the lead down to a dozen. Magai can get it back to 14 if this goes, and he does. .145 to play as Barr throws it up with the left hand, can't get it to fall, and Coles is going to throw it up ahead for Kai Lindsay. He can't get the layup to go. Rebound pulled down by Keller. So a quick possession that was not effective. That's exactly what Keller needs out of Guyer here with 90 seconds to play. Free throw line jumper won't go, but the rebound pulled down by Barr. His fadeaway won't go. Inside, it's Roberts. He can't get it to go. Coley with the board, and finally Keller able to find the bottom. Cut it back down to a dozen with $1:16 to play.
Yeah, I think at this size of a deficit, why are you not shooting threes?
Yeah. It's a fair question. That's what
points,
you need.
You know, with 1:20 or whatever it was left to go. I mean, kick it out. You had wide open looks for three there, but it's, again, as we said, too little, too late. But you know, I was really impressed with this Keller squad to start the game. Fans were into it. And it's a credit to Guyer's ability. You know, even when you're not playing your best out the gate, to kind of hang in there and to even it up. Can't say I expected this to be a double-digit scoring margin this late in the game, but here we are.
Now, I figure, especially when Keller started off as strong as they did, 27-15 to start this basketball game, 19-9 in the first quarter, you figured, okay, Guyer's got more talent. We've seen that on full display over the course of the evening as they've made this comeback and opened up their own double-digit lead. But you didn't figure that they were going to outscore them by 20-plus the rest of the way. I mean, they have outscored them by 24 since being down a dozen. They now lead by a dozen with $1:16 to play. But that is the kind of weaponry that Guyer has. Ball thrown in bounds and stolen away. Keller with an opportunity here. Three-pointer on the way. That misses long. A foul underneath on the rebound will keep it on this end. 1:10 to play. Keller's creating some havoc, but they need some shots to fall here in order for any of it to matter. Cole Roberts will head to the free throw line to shoot two and a chance to, beg your pardon, this may be a 1-and-1. 9 team fouls in the half so far on Denton Guyer. He makes the front end. Two for two for Cole Roberts, and it's down to a 10-point game. A little over a minute to play, and yet another foul, and now shooting two will be Tyler Magai. credit to Tyler McGuy. He's really good at the free throw line. One of the best shooters in the entire state. And he's now hit 5 consecutive trying to help ice this game for Denton Guyer and make it 6 for 6. Back to a 12-point lead. Have to be shooting three-pointers at this point if you're Keller. That ball knocked away into the backcourt. They're able to chase it down, are the Indians. Hinkle, baseball pass on the baseline, and the layup won't go for Cole Robertson. If it wasn't already over, it probably is now. 50.1 to play, and the lead stays at a dozen. And Denton Guyer making free throws the way that they have been. He's ready to walk out of here at 9-0 in district play. Both free throws go for KJ Liggins, and it's 73-59. Meanwhile, on the night now for Tyler McGuy, 22 points to lead all scorers, and he throws it out of bounds off of Paxton Coley. So a big night for the senior, 6'5". Got D1 interest from a couple of different schools. Youngstown State is apparently getting close to making him an offer, or at least that's the hope. Grant Long, their head coach, telling me that they're hoping that it's trending in that direction, that Youngstown is indeed going to make an offer to Tyler McGuy. He's got Division II offers up and down the entire area. West Texas A&M, Southern Nazarene, many others. D1 interest from Youngstown State, Wofford, Southern Illinois, and UNC Asheville as the free throw from Jase Wilson falls.
Yeah, you kind of sleep on McGuy. You know, it's been a quiet game-high number of points. But 21, you said?
22 now on the night. The last 6 all at the free throw line. Long three-point attempt, misses left of the tin. And with under 30 seconds to play, a little showtime, and Kai Lindsay can't finish the alley-oop. Back the other way comes Keller. That ball tipped away, and that really should end it with 13 seconds to play. McGuy will bring it across the timeline and dribble this one out. Denton Guyer, 75-59 winners to move to 9-0 in district play and 22-4 on the season. Keller falls to 5-4 in district play and has their 5-game win streak snapped. They drop to 17-11 on the year. .22 points for Tyler McGuy to lead all scorers. An impressive performance from him. 16 of those 22 coming in the second half as Guyer opened up what was a 2-point lead at the break to ultimately a 16-point win. And really, I mean, they led by a dozen before the third quarter was over. Led by 11 midway through the third quarter. They opened up a double-digit lead very, very quickly in the third frame and then just kind of rode that the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that's what teams that want to win state championships do. You find a way when you're not playing your best. And clearly they weren't there in that first quarter. They came out flat. They looked affected by the crowd and Keller's defense. But they settled in, got a nice run from Kai Lindsay there in the second quarter, who brought the game back 30. And then, you know, once you get that kind of initial confidence boost, you know, there's no telling where you can take it. And Guyer took it to the tune of a 16-point victory here tonight on the road in Keller.
75-59 the final score, 22-4 now the record on the season for the Denton Guyer Wildcats, and they are now 13-0 in games Jacoby Coles plays, although, let's be real, he didn't play that much tonight. He didn't have to. Kai Lindsay did a bunch of work. It was a very impressive team effort from Denton Guyer. Certainly Tyler McGuy leading the way from a scoring perspective, but a lot of the big run that Guyer went on was at least spurred on by Kai Lindsey. He was kind of the driving force behind that in the first half, and then Guyer in the second.
Right. He was the catalyst to the comeback. You know, without Kai Lindsey, who knows how this game would have kind of finished towards, down the stretch there. And again, that's what teams that want to win state championships do. They get contributions from the guys who are not necessarily going to Butler. So a real credit to Guyer. I was impressed with Keller. This is my first chance getting to see them play this season. That defense is for real, but they've got to sustain it for four quarters in order to really make a team of Guyer's caliber work.
When it's all said and done, it's a 16-point win for the Denton Guyer Wildcats as they move to 22-4 on the year with that 75-59 win. With that, this one is in the books. Our thanks to the athletic directors, Denton ISD's Joey Florence and Eric Person from Keller. Also, our thanks to Coach Long and Coach Duran for being so generous with their time and information about their two basketball teams over the course of this week. Without their help and support, this broadcast is just not possible. Thanks to our engineers, Don Hazen and Colby Leeper, and our digital coordinator back in Dallas, Nick Blackhall. For Jonah Javad here with me in the Keller High School gym, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Your final score one last time, 75-59. Denton Guyer knocks off the Keller Wildcats and snaps their 5-game win streak as Guyer moves to 22-4. So long from Keller High School. We'll see you next week as we hope to be bringing you DeSoto and Grand